Hey guys, welcome to Metalworks Machine Shop. Um, this is my shop, a little kind of a walkthrough, introduction. Well, I got this old 1950s Cincinnati 24-inch Shaper. I picked it up almost a month ago, a total restore. It was in a fire. It didn't get hurt. None of the paint got burnt, so I know it didn't get hurt, but it was bad. So total tear down and stripped and painted, and it's almost done. I have got the motor mount and all that put on yesterday. But yeah, this is the electric clutch, not the hydraulic. So this has a switch instead of a lever that powers it. You'll see one like on Steve Summers' channel. He has a 24-inch Cincinnati. It's a little older than mine. I've got this Bridgeport. It's plumb wore out, but it looks pretty. The saddle on it's just wore out. You only got like the center 4 inches or so to work with. Sorry about the shaky camera, but there's my 1960 Colchester 15 by 48. There's the original chuck. Had about 7th thou run out. I just couldn't work with it. I found this buck chuck on Craigslist. It didn't look like that. That's a couple hours of evapor rust and totally cleaning it out. And it's the chuck, it's fully adjustable. And I got it under 1/1000th right now. But it varies on what part you put in. But yeah, the waves on it are nice. I mean, there's 1950 or 60. I mean 60. There's the electrical panel. Still gotta go through it, clean it up, get all that nasty orange. Looks like they sprayed it with that ground marking paint. There's the lathe I started with, probably 2 years ago. Little 9-inch south bend. And I'd like to sell it, but it has a 3-jaw, steady rest, tailstock, 4-jaw. There's the original motor. I did put another motor on it. That motor still works, but it's just tired. You gotta let her warm up before you engage the belt. I made that attachment right here, right there, for boring bars. Take the lantern post off, put it on there, and I've made it to where the hole is center of the spindle. So, there's one of the grinders. Went to go look at a surface grinder, and he had 2 of them, but then the deal was had to buy 2 to get 1. So there's the one I wanted. It's a Boyar Schultz 612 Deluxe, and it has the dust collector. It's right there, but I didn't really want that, so I used the cabinet. sorry, off of this. It's just a regular 6x12 Boyar Schultz. And it's really nice condition. It had the Lovejoy coupling was messed up. The rubber piece was gone, so it rattled, and they didn't have a clue what it was. And I knew instantly what it was. But so yeah, I picked both of them up. Man, I'm gonna get yelled at for having such a shaky camera. Anyway, so, well, okay, here's my lift table. I put this in about 3 years ago. Got that out of an industrial auction. Had it on the floor. Kept tripping over it. It needed ramps to get anything on it. So, yeah, I cut the floor, poured new concrete. Now it goes down and sits flat on the floor. I also built a new table. That's a 3/8 table. It's about, I think it's like 36 by 6, I believe. And it'll pick up 1,500 pounds. Up above, when I built the place, this is all steel building, but I put an overhead bridge crane. I got an electric hoist right here, an old Yale. It has one of the contactors out in it, so it came down and get ready to send it out, get it fixed. And I got this really old Delta drill. Got that in an auction. And this little grinder here. I made the pedestal for the drill. Cabinets full of all grinding discs and air tools and whatnot. Yeah, the old dog food. Got a big dog outside. Oh, here's the big vise for the Shaper. That's probably next weekend or so. It's going to get complete tear down, cleaned up. But anyway, yeah, I mean, as for my channel, you know, I'm into antique tractors and small engines, about anything, you know, cars, you know, I'm a Pontiac nut, you know, I got, and a Harley, yeah. I haven't even had it out yet this year. It needs a battery, and so it's came out of storage, and I haven't even put the seat on it yet. No battery. I don't know how well you can see in here. Pretty dark on this side of the shop, but this car restored, absolutely correct-ish. There's no aftermarket parts on it, but the way I built it, put it together, collar combination, GM, never did this. Because it does have the gold SE package, and the collar of white was never used, but it's still a GM collar. It's all correct, it's just not anything that GM ever did. Oh, several toolboxes. Gotta love Harbor Freight. These general boxes, dude, I'm telling you, get one. If you're a Snap-on guy, fine, try one. I guarantee you'll switch. But yeah, it's just full of, that's all my lathe tooling and whatnot. A bunch of, you know, collets and some other tooling. Yeah, Yeah. What else can I tell you? About me, I have been welding for, well, since the late 80s. I self-taught, never went to any kind of schooling or did anything like that. I work in a fabrication shop, a pretty big one. Metal work, heavy, just not sheet metal. I tell people, if you ever seen the show Gold Rush, all the equipment they use, that's what we build and repair. We go on site, sand and gravel, and we also do feed and grain. But, you know, well, here's my look at my little shop. This is 24 by 30. I did put another room on it. It's kind of a mess. I've been moving stuff in and out, but you know, basically tool room, air compressors back here, phase converter motors back here. I'll fire it up just so I can see when I listen to the video on how much you hear of it. It is a 15 horse phase converter. Now I can fire up. That's one of the low settings. I was doing some indicating, so. And I don't have the mill wired up yet because I had to move it to put the shaper in here. So I need to move the wiring for that. Where the grinder's setting, it's not going to be its home spot, so I don't know where it's going to go yet because I really don't want to fling grinding dust everywhere, even though I should probably keep the dust collector and just go ahead and hook it up. But I thought about putting a grinder back in the other room just so that grinding dust stays back there. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching, and hit the subscribe, and hopefully to have more content of machine work, building, welding, metal fab. Yeah, hey Bubs, thanks for watching.